which give us valuable insights into what they are. An educationist, author, poet, she's the director at Eupheus Learning, and her short stories have appeared as anthologies. She is also written and has selected for several textbooks at the K-12 level. Runs a live chat show, Bistro Buzz Conversations, with Sutapa Basu, that hosts unique people from across spheres and the world. Ms. Basu has her own website, sutapabasu.com, and all of you are most welcome to visit her there, as also on readomania.com. Over to you, Ms. Basu. You need to unmute yourself, Sutapa. You need to unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Dr. Vinita Prasad, for all the accolades. I don't know whether I'm really worthy of them. A very good afternoon to Mr. Sankaran, Mr. Dr. Roy, Dr. Ray, Dr. Prasad, Dr. Singh, Dr. Gupta, and my distinguished fellow speakers and the students who are all there listening and watching us. It gives me great pleasure to present my thoughts on the theme of this panel discussion, Language and Literature, New Entrepreneurial Opportunities in the Contemporary Milieu. Nelson Mandela said, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, it goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. In today's world, it's not enough just to talk. You need to talk well and make a good package of it too. That's where language plays an important role. Effective spoken and written English has become the critical and solitary tool of business communication, not just within this country, but across continents. With the world shrinking every day with internet and technology, English has stood out as the single language of global communication. No wonder that English is the most widely spoken language across the globe and has become a universal business language. Ability to communicate in English allows people to actually broaden their world, and from job opportunities to the ability to relate to people from every country. Since acquisition of good communication skills in English opens up better career options, it is not surprising that over the last 3 decades, innumerable institutes to teach English communication have mushroomed all over the country. While mostly the focus is on spoken English, quite a few of them also offer English writing courses. This kind of language training provides faculty positions to language skill teachers. At the same time, professional courses such as hotel management, banking, or any industry that requires customer interface includes soft skills training, which is mainly about honing language skills. Let's look at GMAT and GRE applications. Language trainers have opened schools and services that bring aspirants to a certain level of English language proficiency required for these exams. Hordes of language experts are adding IELTS qualifications to their CVs to be a part of this industry. What about college admissions to universities abroad that require candidates to write an essay? You have to only Google to get a list of personalized essay writing services. While it's not kosher to apply with a ghost-written essay, it's being done. And that furnishes great entrepreneurial opportunities to people who want to put their writing skills to good use. Media is another industry which offers a gamut of career options to those with a communication edge. Other than true blue journalists who are vertebral wordsmiths, there are editors, radio jockeys, or TV anchors who are often freelancers. The film, music, and animation industries require voiceover artists, lyricists, and writers, all of which opens up earning avenues for language experts. That's a lot of business that language expertise brings. Does the study of literature offer similar opportunities? Literature is much more than a litany of great stories or impressive cultures. At its core, literature is the application of language. Therefore, it should not be a surprise that literature offers great opportunities to expand and enrich language skills. Earlier, when one took a postgraduate degree in English literature, which I did, there were not many careers to take up. One could teach in a school or the university, write books, or take an UPSC exam and enter the public service branches. However, in the present day global and competitive environment, students of literature can find several uses for the exceptional, analytical, critical, and creative skills that they have developed during their study. Teaching at a school or university level still remains a career, though one does need to take a B.Ed degree or clear the net to become a full-fledged teaching faculty. However, there are several other avenues of earning when one is armed with a literature degree. Digital marketing agencies employ the kind of writers to write content for their websites, blogs, and marketing campaigns. Copywriters create content for print and online advertising, such as TV commercial scripts, text for billboards, leaflets, flyers, posters, banners, and mailers. And these are in great demand by the advertising companies. Most corporate organizations need communication executives to write invites for conferences, press releases, articles to communicate with the public. And all book publishing houses need writers, editors, and proofreaders that make for excellent careers. So if a person with language skills also has the creative and analytical skills, there's no dearth of commercial use that they can put it to. Also, along with English, if your language skills extend to another language, which is very common to most of the people in India, translations of books, journals, and magazines is another good business avenue. In the field of education, other than teaching, expertise in language and literature helps in becoming an instructional designer to create content presentations or storyboards for e-learning lessons. Subject matter experts go a step further and develop curriculum for educational courses, e-learning coaching, or online courses. In a world that is constantly getting locked down, working from home has become a norm. In such a scenario, being a freelance writer is another enterprise to be considered. Plenty of writing assignments for blogs, content for websites or e-learning portals, academic project or report writing are available. One finds numerous sites where freelancers can subscribe for the promotion of their work and connect with potential clients. Successful bloggers are making their blogs into commercial enterprises. Similarly, creative writers can earn royalties from novels, poetry, essays, short stories. One can be a critic and be paid to write reviews on books, films, theatre, restaurants, travel destinations, and even fashion. Academic or technical writers are paid to write essays, research articles, product usage manual, or instructions. Finally, I would like to bring to attention a hitherto pastime of erstwhile grandmothers, storytelling, that is growing very fast into a widely asked for service all over the world. If somebody has a real knack for telling a tale, or is the type who can sit around a campfire and spin a fascinating yarn right out of their heads to entertain your kids, there is a wonderful opportunity for these natural storytellers. Today, schools, book clubs, event managers, teachers, and parents are ready to pay by the hour to entertainers who can make stories come alive and engage children. My own company, UFS Learning, has begun a storytelling club and has parents subscribing from all over the world for online live sessions. However, the big bucks are actually with the business houses. Business may appear very boring on the surface, but underneath there are dramas like you wouldn't believe. And one earns well by telling those stories. You see, businesses need to tell stories because people hate advertisements, but people love stories and will listen to them. In particular, the more sophisticated the product or the audience is, the more likely a company needs to tell stories to make sales. Let me mention some very well-played storytelling that language and literature experts can attempt. Advertorial articles or native ads. Offline, these have been around for ages. You know, they are those feature articles surrounded by a box that says advertising. Often they tell the story of a sponsoring business's success or why their product is exceptional, but in a style of a reported article. When these appear online, these are called sponsored posts or native advertising. Sometimes writers get paid at rupees at $1 a word for them. Ghostwriting placed articles. These are articles where the point of view is flipped. It is written as if the business owner is telling the story in the first person. How his or her business grew, and prospered? Why is it innovative? What recent experience or event has changed how he or she does business? Many businesses want these articles professionally written so that they can submit them to business publications, raise their visibility, and build their reputation. There are freelancers who charge about $1,200 per placed article. And finally, annual reports. Yes, those annual reports which have boring charts and graphs about the company's finances. But annual reports must also tell a compelling story about what happened in the business during the past year and what's coming next. Not just publicly held companies, but private companies and major non-profits issue these reports and need to tell a great story to keep their investors on board. Investors don't only want to see numbers in an annual report. They want to know why the business has this level of revenue and profit last year. It is storytelling that provides the answer. Creatively written narrations about exactly how the company put their top competitors out of business or why the closure of 20 stores will really be a good thing in the long run is what catches the investor's attention. There is no doubt that English is one of the most dominating languages of the world with its impact on every field of work. It has become a global language for communicating in all streams such as politics, finance, education, entertainment, culture, international relations in almost all countries of the world. Therefore, take heart, thou English majors, thou magicians of words, thou writers of prose. Thy knowledge was not toiled in vain. Thank you.
Thank you, Sutapa, for that most interesting and fascinating journey that is there and the scope that is there for our students of English. I think you've already answered a question that, we might have been preempted, that being a successful author, could you tell our students how to explore entrepreneurial opportunities in the field of literature? You've already spoken at length about content writing, storytelling, and many other options that are available to them. Any one thing that you would want to add, perhaps? Just one more point before we move to the next speaker.
Okay, so if you aspire to be a writer, an author, you can write fiction in a variety of genres such as thrillers, historical, short stories, children's tales. You can even write non-fiction, narratives, poetry, drama, whatever. But if you want your books to sell, there are two things you must do. One is to study the market and meet the readership demand. But remember, the market demand must match your own interest and ability. You may be interested in writing thrillers, but you see that the romance is booming in the market. So you start writing a romance. At the end, you might just write a bad romance which may not sell. So it's better to always meet market demand as well your own interest and interest and ability. Another interesting enterprise is to be a literary critic. So there's a lot of books being published and reviews help to hype sales. So many authors and publishing houses go in for paid reviews, especially from reviewers who have a large following on their social media platforms. You can also freelance as a development or a copy editor. Most authors are always on a lookout for good editors to improve their writing. And finally, there are many business opportunities for trainers of creative writing. People are paying to learn how to write stories, and I have been a mentor training school children to become published authors. So there are many, many avenues.